Hello and welcome to our channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, please give us a like and show us support by subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Nobody admires to be poor in this life, since in an approximate, there are 60% poor people, compared to average and dynasties. Some characters may influence you to be poor in your entire life. So here are 8 things poor people should avoid. Poor people take part in the defense. Despite this, the majority of people play the money game in the same way. Their main goal is to avoid losing rather than to win or to be the greatest. They merely want to pay their bills and avoid going into debt. The problem with this strategy is that all of you want to do is stay above the water. You only get so far. Choose your target and aim high. Of course, some of the people do a little better. They set aside 10% of their pay, invest it in the stock market, and hope that the stock market doesn't fall so that they will have something to rely on when they retire. But until that time comes, they will be stuck in low-paying jobs. There's nothing wrong about that. But if all you want to do is pay your expenses, you will just stay put. If you want to acquire great wealth, stop playing defense and start playing offense and shooting for the stars. A wise man once said, "If you shoot for the stars, you will at least hit the moon." As a result, poor people do not place a high value on freedom. I don't mean whether or not you live in a democracy when I say freedom. Knowing what you want, how you want, and where you want to live the life you want, not the one someone else wants you to live, means doing what you want, how you want, and where you want. Many individuals say money isn't everything because of this. Don't live your life solely for the sake of making money. The most well-known is probably money is the root of all evils. Even so, you might find someone working from dawn to dusk for minimal pay just to keep the bill collectors away from their homes. Not only because they dislike the task, but also because they despise their boss. If they had the chance, they would leave the job. That is why money is synonymous with liberty. So, how can you expect to desire money if you regard it as a bad thing? Rich people continue to accumulate wealth because it allows them to do anything they want with their lives. People who are poor work extremely hard for their money. Rich people put forth additional effort to advance, and if that isn't enough, they may consider taking on a second job. The problem with this is that your time is limited at the end of the day, regardless of how much you are paid. And because affluent individuals are well aware of this, rather than working hard for their money, they let their money work hard for them. They regard money as a tool to help them generate more money, rather than a piece of paper that can be used to buy everything they want, as most people do. Of course, you will have to work hard for the money at the beginning, but it will only be temporary for the wealthy and permanent for the poor. Once you have saved enough money to replace yourself, you will have more freedom. Poor people focus on difficulties. One of the friends wants to start a restaurant chain. He's been telling me that for the past 3 or 4 years, but when I ask why he hasn't started, he always says, "I don't have the money and I don't want to go into debt." That is the crux of the problem. People who live in poverty are constantly on the lookout for things to go wrong. In those 4 years, he may have found an investor or saved enough money to get started. He hasn't even done any market research or developed a plan. He believes that once he obtains the funds, the rest will take care of itself. What will happen, though, is that he will merely hit another roadblock. There will always be obstacles in every business you start, and there are a million things that could go wrong. And if you are like my friend who can't stop moaning about how bad things are, you are probably in the same financial predicament as he is. Even though they have the money and all the essentials, some people are on a higher level saying things like, "What if it doesn't work? What if my failure is discovered by others?" For the love of God, no one cares. The poor prefer to be paid on a regular schedule. How often do you hear people say things like, "I deserve to be paid $50 or $60 an hour. I have a degree from such and such university. I put in more effort than everyone else, and I'm smarter or more skillful than everyone else." You know what I'm talking about. Nobody gives a damn. What matters at the end of the day is how much value you can create. As you may be working harder than Jeff Bezos, he will be earning $4.5 million per hour while you moan since his firm is providing value to millions of people all over the world. The poor believe they have all the answers. This is one that has received the most criticism. When people face financial challenges, what do? They complain about it, and there are a million people to blame, starting with the country's lawmakers and ending with your boss. If you, on the other hand, encourage him to pick up a book and study the principles of money management, he will. "This is my money, and I know how to manage it," he will say. They will create even more excuses for you after that. It's not just about the money either. Everything else, on the other hand. Have you ever observed that when people are in a disagreement, they want to prove that they are right, even if they aren't? We all had this thinking, but when we were younger. Then you realize that if you keep going like this, you will never become better. So you have to stop acting as if you understand everything and begin to focus on your flaws and how you can solve them. The poor mismanage their financial resources. Money management is not a skill that you are born with. Rather, it is something that you must master. Just because you have money doesn't mean you know how to manage it well. People worry that taking charge of their finances will limit their freedom. They don't want to keep a budget or think long and hard about what they want to buy. They have finally received their pay and want to make use of it. However, if you don't manage your money, you will never achieve financial independence, and that momentary sense of mindless joy isn't actual freedom. Second, many people feel that to deal with it, you need a lot of money. Trust me, it's a lot harder than you think. And if you can't manage your current pay well, how do you think you will handle 10 times that? You have probably figured out that what makes poor people truly poor is a terrible attitude, and one of the consequences is a lack of money. The good news is that you can change your mindset. That doesn't mean you will have a lot of money the next day. No, but your financial situation will improve as you begin to view things differently. Think differently, and instead of grumbling, you will begin to take advantage of all the opportunities that come your way. That was today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it and that you learned something interesting. Comment down below what you liked the most about this video and suggest any topics that you would like to hear about in future videos. To show us support, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video.